Take responsibility for your life. Achieve fulfillment with recovery. Check out responsiblerecovery.net.
There was one time that she got too drunk and I was actually trying to get her home. She punched me straight in the face and I got a black eye. That was not fun. We just have tons of stories like that where either she's overly intoxicated or I am. And mine go to the extreme. I was walking on the freeway and that still blows my mind. You should never walk on the freeway, kids. It's bad for you. And so there was a time when I first moved to San Francisco, my sister actually ended up moving in. Well, she broke up with her fiance. She ended up moving in with me, which I thought was going to make me the happiest person. I love my sister. She's my favorite person. She's so funny and she's so smart, and all I ever want to do is spend time with her. But the drinking kind of got in the way, and I just, at a certain point, I was like, dude, you gotta get out. Go find your own place. And I got tired of her always caring about me. It gets in the way of you doing what you want to do, because when people care, you gotta make excuses, and it was either create space between us or lie to her. I didn't want to lie to her. I was so tired of lying to the people that I love and who actually love me too. And so I told her I don't want to text you goodnight anymore, because if I don't text goodnight and then you're worried about me, nowadays that would never be a problem. If she wanted to text goodnight every night, we shouldn't have to be required to say it, but I didn't want it to be a rule then, because if I blacked out and didn't say it, I didn't want her to worry. But the amount of times that I just showed up drunk and covered in vomit on her door was so much, it didn't equate, either I want space or I need her. I couldn't, and I just kept doing it, and I feel so bad about the amount of shit that I put her through. It was crazy, man. She definitely didn't deserve that, and she didn't know how to handle it, and she's already an anxious kind of person, and so to be hey, I'm not going to tell you where I am anymore, that I'm safe or that I'm alive, so deal with it. That's bullshit. So, but I did that. I did that for a while just wanted freedom. I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do, and I didn't want anyone to tell me any different. I needed to feel normal, and I was going to do whatever I needed to do that, and I wanted to feel like I was on top of the world, and screw anybody who got in the way, because she was always so cautious. She didn't want to, I wanted to try cocaine, and I wanted to be out partying, and she wanted to be a little bit safer, and I was just ugh, I'm good. I needed that freedom, and so, surprise, I ended up getting fired from Nordstrom. I know, we're so shocked. And then I spent 3 months finding another job and ended up getting a restaurant job. And I was hired as a host, and about a month later they made me manager. And that's quite a big leap, but they kind of, just liked how I did my business. I, just get it done. And so the restaurant business is full of alcohol, it is full of drugs, it is full of miscreants, it's full of sex and booze and parties and all the wrong things. So that's when everything kind of started to rev up a little bit. God, and looking back now, you can kind of see it, now having gone through treatment and all that stuff, you can see a glaring signal, all of the signs. But then I was so blind to it. So when I went from host to manager, I really played with my whole wanting to be accepted thing, because all these servers and bartenders don't want the girl who was just a host telling them what to do. And so I desperately wanted friends, and I just wanted to be liked, and I wanted everyone to know how great I was. So instead of being a good manager, I was a good friend instead. And I drank with them, and I did drugs with them, and I went out with them, and I didn't ever get them in trouble for all the things, that I should have. Well, as a manager, they got themselves in trouble, but, being on time, not doing the correct thing, all that stuff. Never did anything, never followed up. I let them do whatever the hell they wanted, and I just did the manager stuff, counted the money, all the paperwork stuff like that. But I just wanted to be friends with all of them so bad that I just never followed up. And like we were all getting super drunk at work, and we actually used to have like a code word for cocaine. And so like whenever anybody would go get some coke, we'd say, do you want some steak tacos? And that meant, I have coke, would you like some? And so me and actually another manager, he was way heavier into the drinking and the alcohol than I was at that time. He couldn't even go a day without or an hour without drinking on the job, or he'd start shaking. And he would do coke all the time. And so I used to do like coke with N. I actually tried it first with her. And I loved it. I thought it was great, but I started to use it too much, so I stopped. Like, I was like, I'm good. Like, I would hate to become a cokehead. God forbid I have a problem. God forbid I end up like, my biological parents. So I ended up stopping all of that because I was like, I don't want to be that person. But drinking never occurred to me like, hey, maybe I should slow down a little bit. Because it was a part of my identity. It was a part of who I was. It was a part of how I define myself. I could drink anyone under the table. I'll drink anytime, anywhere. Doesn't matter. I'm the fun girl. That was who I was. If I didn't have that, what the hell did I have? So, but when I started working at the restaurant, my other manager, he would get like an 8-ball, and we would do it all just sitting in his car. And that will fuck with you, because you go back into work, you want a shot, you want a cigarette. I'm outside chain smoking because like my mouth is numb, but it feels great, and I just want to smoke, and I just want another shot, and like an hour would have gone by. I'm like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden we're closed, and I'm like drinking stuff from behind the bar just to stay drunk. And then it's 2 a.m. and I can't buy alcohol anywhere, so I'll just drink the stuff at work. I was not a very good employee by any means, and and I couldn't be, because I was so desperate to fit in, and so like I would hang out with the kitchen guys, I'd hang out with the servers, and it's taken me until recently to realize like none of them were actually my friends, like not even a little bit. Not in that they didn't care about me, but they cared about me in that moment, but not long term, not in the way that friendships do. And it was more like they just wanted something to talk about, and I was the next best thing to talk about. And believe me, I gave them stuff to talk about. That's not on them. That's definitely on me. But after things happen, you always want to because of Facebook and Instagram, you always want to keep in touch and see how they're doing. And so, I kind of kept these people around me for too long, when all I have associated with them are these bad memories of being too drunk and doing the wrong thing and doing too much coke. Like, the restaurant industry, it's hard and fast. It'll chew you up, it'll spit you out, and you gotta be really careful. And so, but I wanted to be chewed up and spit out. I wanted to go do the drinking scene. I wanted to do the drugs. I wanted to do all of it. And then at a certain point, I was like, okay, enough's enough. I don't like who I am as a person, and I just gotta start doing better. So I got a better restaurant job, but I told myself I'm gonna stop smoking, because where I was gonna work was really inconvenient. If you wanted to smoke, it would take you literally like 15 minutes to get outside to smoke. So I was like, you know what, this is a great opportunity. I'll stop smoking. I'm gonna do all the right things at work, like no shady stuff, no drinking at work, no drinking their alcohol, none of that. I was gonna start making more money, being a better friend, being a better sister. It all started out great.
Take responsibility for your life. Achieve fulfillment with recovery. Check out responsiblerecovery.net.